Hi, I'm David, and today we will talk about your bookkeeping. Sounds a little bit boring and difficult, but it isn't. It is boring, I admit, but it isn't difficult if you use YouBaze though. So, how does it work? Consider YouBaze as a pre-bookkeeping system. So it isn't a true bookkeeping system. We only export the data you process in YouBaze to your accountant or bookkeeper, which he can import into Exact Online. So we optimized YouBaze for Exact Online. That means that it is wise to work with an accountant that works with Exact Online. It isn't necessary because you can send the files we create to your bookkeeper anyway. Only he needs to open them in Excel and process the data. So it is wiser to use an accountant that uses Exact Online. Look at it this way. You receive an invoice from a supplier. You pay it by bank. So your payment needs to be processed. You will do that in YouBaze. So you need to update the payment status. It's the same when you send an invoice to a customer. You receive money by bank or by cash, and you update the payment status so that your customer doesn't get payment reminders. That's the only thing you need to do. Once you've done that, you can export all the data which your bookkeeper can use for bookkeeping, true bookkeeping. So it's a waste of time if your bookkeeper needs to enter that data again. That's why we made the export script. Now, before you start using YouBaze for bookkeeping, we need to check, or you need to check the VAT rates and the currency. Let's go to bookkeeping and check the standard VAT rate and the reduced VAT rate. There are other rates you can use, like these, and you can set the euro or US dollar or the currency of your country here. So secondly, we need to import ledger numbers. Ledger numbers are here. And most of the bookkeepers just use their own ledger numbers, the structure. So no bookkeeper will use the same structure. That means that you need to ask your bookkeeper to export his ledger numbers from Exact Online and send it to you. So how does the import work? If you go to ledger numbers, you find two ledger numbers we already linked to Exact Online or Exact Online. If you go to export bookkeeping, you will see that these two ledger numbers have been linked to Exact Online. Here you are. So once you have imported the ledger numbers, you need to link the debtors and creditors ledger number here. If we go back to ledger numbers again, that's why you cannot remove them, because they have been linked to Exact Online. So we need to import the CSV file. So if you go to show instructions, the file needs to be a CSV file. That's a comma separated value, and you can skip the first row if there is a first row. I will show you how that works. If you open the CSV file you receive from your bookkeeper, you just can check the first line if description fields are being used. If so, you can skip the first row. And the second one, if you need to consider whether to use a comma or not. So you can import two fields, the first two fields, that's not recommended. Or you can import the first 5 fields, that's recommended. You can even add another field in which you say yes or no, like show the ledger number in the list you use in YouBaze, because sometimes you will not use a ledger number. And the input of these fields should be exactly the same as in the CSV file, otherwise it won't import. So if you use balance statement, just enter balance statement, or credit, use credit, etc., etc. So after you've, oh, I should update or upload a database, otherwise it doesn't work. Now you see a small number of ledger numbers I just created or imported for this tutorial. These two were already linked, so I should relink them, or you should relink them if you use other ledger numbers in Exact Online. Let's do that. Here we use 1300 and here we use another one. So you should link them here. Another thing that's important is that you should add a bank account. So if you go to Bookkeeping and Bank Accounts, you can add a bank account. I already did here for the tutorial. You just name it, and if you want to set it as a default, it's possible. Of course, you need to enter your bank account, and the balance will be shown every time you import a bank book. I will show you later on. So let's go back to ledger numbers. You can toggle it here to determine if you want to show the ledger number in the lists you use in YouBaze. It's very handy. Let's go to products, because you need to link the ledger numbers to a product or to a purchase item. So let's link it to a sales product. Most of the time you use one ledger number, 8000. I will speed this up, otherwise it will take too long. You actually do this when you make when you add a sales product. So you need to add a ledger number to a sales product once you made it. I've done it all, and let's do the same for purchase items. Again, if you add a purchase item, you will be asked to do that. I've removed it here to show you how it works. Ledger numbers with purchase items are not always the same because you use categories. Again, I will speed this process up to show you how it works. If you don't know the ledger number for a purchase item, just ask your bookkeeper. I have finished linking the ledger numbers to a purchase item. Now let's show you how that works in real time. If we go to a contact, like YouBaze, that's in this case it's a customer and a supplier. Customer and supplier, so sorry. We have linked some purchase orders and sales invoices to this account or to this contact. So you need to link a ledger number only once to a product, purchase item or sales item, and just add the purchase item or the sales item to an invoice you send to a customer or receive from a supplier. So you don't need to think about debit or credit or ledger numbers at all. So second thing, or the next thing, is the payment status. If you send an invoice to a customer and your customer paid the invoice, you need to update the payment status. That will be done through your bank book or cash book. That is the same for your purchase items. So if you receive a purchase invoice from a supplier, you need to link the items to the invoice, and once you pay the invoice, then it will be deducted from your bank account, or you pay it cash, and you need to update it. How that works I will show you later. That's the same here again with the purchase order. The amount and to be paid will be updated automatically. Now let's import a bank book. You need to export your bank entries from your bank account. That's your online account with your bank. So there are a couple of files our import script handles. I will show you. Go to bank entries, enter import or click on import, and you see that you can import these files here. So export it from your bank account surroundings and import the CAMT file. I use a CAMT file here. You should name it too. Why? Because if you made a mistake, you can undo the import. So let's give it a name first. And I use a date, so I know when I have imported it. And here you are, 7 bank entries have been imported. You can do this on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, or on a monthly basis. We do it on a weekly basis. And here you can undo the import, just remove it, say yes, and then your bank entries will be removed or deleted. I will import it again to show you how to link a bank entry to a purchase invoice or a sales invoice. Once imported, you can just choose a bank account here. You will see your bank balance, which will be imported every time you import a file. And you can filter on all bank entries or bank entries that need to be booked or partially booked. We added a log so you can see who did what. That can be very handy. When somebody made a mistake, you can see who made that mistake and learn from it. Now, after you've imported the bank entries, you need to link each bank entry to a purchase item, a purchase invoice, or a sales invoice, or a ledger number. Now, if you click on the money icon, it will search for the amount, or if you click on this one, it will search on a description. Green is okay. You can remove the link if you made a mistake. So let's do it again. Check the amount. That's okay. It's green. Green is okay. Same with this one. Check the amount. And enter and link it. And that's how we do it for all bank entries. Sometimes you see a little bit more, so you can just use the amount, especially when you've got a specific amount. That can be handy. You can lower, or like if you receive a smaller amount, you can book it here. It won't be green because it hasn't been fully booked, so just change it here. Let's link this one, and then you find this one. That's a withdrawal from somebody. Like you cannot link it to a sales or purchase invoice, so you need to link it to a ledger number. How does that work? Just add plus, and you can link it to a ledger number. Which ledger number you need to ask your bookkeeper. So in this case, we use a ledger number for withdrawals from John Doe. Link it, save it, and it turns green. And that's okay. Green is okay. And now you have, sometimes you have bank entries that you cannot link to a purchase invoice. So you can just link it to a ledger number, but that won't process the costs in the performance reports of YouBaze. So how you can do that is to enter a purchase order. Go to bank, like ING Bank here. I already did one. And just because you don't have an invoice number, just use the date and mention or describe the cost. Oh, hold on. Yep. Okay. For the ease, I will just enter bank cost here, save it, go back to hold on. I need to link it first. Bank costs. Ledger number is okay. VAT is 0. So like bank costs that you will not receive a purchase invoice for bank costs. You will need to add a purchase order to the specific contact. In this case, it will be your bank. And once you've done that, you can link it in your bank entries. So what happens now, if you have linked the bank entry, you see that your payment status for your purchase invoice here has been updated, has been linked to the bank entry. So that goes automatically. If you click on this one, you will see the specific bank entry. If you remove the bank entry, if you remove the link, then the purchase item or purchase invoice status of the payment will be updated again. That's the same for sales invoices. You see it's paid, automatically updated while linking it in the bank book. Again here, if you click on that one, you will see the bank entry. So then you have cash entries. Sometimes it happens that invoices are being paid cash or partially cash by your customer, and you can add a cash entry over here and link it to that invoice. I won't save it in this video tutorial, but you just show you quickly how that works. Enter the number of the sales invoice or purchase invoice. I won't save it. So let's show you how you can book receipts. If you go back or you find, let's find a staff, like John Doe is a staff member, and he will, or he has paid some receipts with his own money. So how does that work? Add a purchase order and just accumulate the receipts you receive in one purchase order. In this case, just because you don't have an invoice number, you just give it a name so you can link it easier once you've paid it, and give it a date. Let's set on the 1st of January. Remove this one because that's an old one from the Dutch tutorial, and upload an English receipt. Here you are. Let's see how that looks like, and enter the amount that's on the receipt. Okay, VAT I will just set on 0. You can overrule the VAT rates, but it isn't wise. But for this case, I will do that to speed it up a little bit. You haven't paid yet, because you will accumulate the receipts you receive. So it's wise to do that once a month or once every 3 months. Okay, let's do the export of the bookkeeping. Ask your accountant which bank codes he uses in his exact online license. So, and if he works with amounts that include VAT or not. And for each VAT rate, you got a code in Exact Online, so you need to ask him which codes that are. You can set a reminder, like 1 day before you need to export your bookkeeping to your accountant. You can be notified by YouBaze, and let's just show you how the export works. The only thing you need to do is set a period, like a time period, like 1st of January till 31st of March 2017, and enter the email address of your bookkeeper. Okay, sometimes if you don't, or if you haven't linked a ledger number to a purchase item, you cannot export it. So you need to link it. If you go back to a purchase item, you need to link it. But I haven't got the ledger number, so I need to add the ledger number for these costs. Again, you need to do it only once, because let's see how or which ledger number we use for dinner costs. That's that one. Let's change it a little bit and use the first 4 digits in this case. What kind of type is it? And other costs. Hold on. Is it balance or income? Debit or credit? If you don't know, just ask your bookkeeper. And display the ledger number or not. So if we go back to purchase items, you need to link it after you've added the ledger number. In this case, it's this ledger number. You don't need to save it here. So now when you do the same, export the data, you will see what happens when you export the bookkeeping data for your bookkeeper. So an email will be made, like a concept email, with these data. We like merge the results of the export here, so you can show your bookkeeper how many bank entries, how many contacts, how many sales entries and purchase entries have been made, so he can check if the import will be okay. We added a VAT report, so after the import your bookkeeper can check if these numbers match the numbers after you've imported. And we've got a balance statement, again to double check the data he imported. So next thing, performance charts. Sorry, we haven't added a lot of purchase items and sales items, so doesn't show a lot, but it will show you the actual status, financial status of your company here. You can make a performance report here. Just like enter the period and show it in your browser, or create a report. I'll show it in my browser, and you will see the financial results for that period. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.